Welcome to the New Hampshire Coastal Viewer, brought to you by the University of New Hampshire Earth Systems Research Center through the New Hampshire Granite Project, the New Hampshire Coastal Program, and the NOAA Office for Coastal Management. The Coastal Viewer is an online mapping tool that lets you access and visualize spatial data related to resources and hazards in New Hampshire's coastal watershed. This video will help you understand the basics. I will cover navigation, viewing data layers, exploring specific places, and printing maps. Keep in mind there are many ways to accomplish these tasks, and this tutorial will show you one pathway to achieve results. The best way to learn how to use the viewer is to play around with it, so let's get started. If you have questions as you explore the datasets, please contact Granite by clicking on the Help tab. Once the viewer loads, a map, toolbar, and welcome panel will appear. The portion of the viewer with the map is the main map area, where data will display. The top of the viewer is the toolbar, where you can find most of the tools and functions to interact with the map and data. Below the welcome message are two tabs, About the Viewer and Layers. Click on the Layers tab to open the Map Layers panel. You will see a series of categorized folders that contain the data layers. Think of the Layers tab as the table of contents for all the data in the viewer. To explore the data layers, click the plus symbol next to a folder. Let's start by clicking the plus symbol next to Administrative and Political Boundaries. Note that the individual data layers within the folder are grayed out, indicating that they are inactive. Activate the layers by clicking the box next to the folder name. Next, check the box next to City/Town and watch as the borders of cities and towns in coastal New Hampshire are loaded onto the main map area. Let's add another data layer. The Conservation and Public Lands layer is a great data set to show you what areas in the region are protected. To turn on this layer, go back to the table of contents, expand and activate the Environment and Conservation folder, and check the box next to the Conservation and Public Lands layer. Watch as the viewer highlights different colored polygons on top of the cities and towns dataset. The meaning of each color is explained in the legend below the data layer in the table of contents. The Conservation and Public Lands layer contains a lot of information about each parcel. To learn more about what this dataset contains and when it was last updated, you can access its metadata document in the Layer Actions menu by clicking the arrow next to the layer title in the table of contents and selecting Metadata. You can also change the base map display by clicking on the square icon labeled Bing Road on the lower left-hand corner of the main map area. Clicking this icon will open different base map options. Try selecting the aerial map or leave it as the default. Switching between base maps may take a few moments to load. Now, let's explore basic navigation tools. To zoom, click on the plus or minus icons in the toolbar. Use your mouse to draw a rectangle around the area you would like to zoom to. If you want to zoom back to your previous mapped extent, click the back icon on the toolbar. You can reposition the area you are viewing by using the pan tool. If you want to start over, click the initial view icon on the toolbar and you will be taken back to the original extent on the map. You can also zoom to a specific location on the map. Click on the I Want To menu in the upper left corner of your main map area and select Zoom to a street address, city, town, or zip code. A new tab will appear in the left panel where you can enter an address. Once you are focused on your area of interest, you can find out more about a specific point or area on your map by using the Identify tool. Click on the Identify icon in the toolbar. This tool allows you to access descriptive information about the features displayed on the map. Next, click on any parcel of land in the Conservation and Public Lands layer. The viewer will pull up two tabs in an Identify Results panel that runs along the base of the main map area. You will see information about the identified area contained in the Conservation and Public Lands layer. switch to the City/Town tab from the Administrative Boundary layer to see more information about the town which contains the area you selected. The more data layers you turn on, the more tabs will appear in the Identify Results panel. Just remember that you have to turn on layers by checking them in the Layers panel in order to view their data using the Identify tool. Now, let's talk about how to change the way data is displayed on the map. To change the colors of a layer, such as conservation and public lands, access the Layer Actions menu as you did to view the metadata. Next, click on the menu option titled Turn On/Off Layer Visualization. To create a new visualization, open the drop-down menu prompting you to select a visualization for your layer. Select Custom Layer Style and then select Attribute from the Choose Symbology Type drop-down menu. The viewer will then ask you to pick an attribute to symbolize, or in other words, tell the viewer what information you want it to use as it color codes the data. Let's stick with visualizing the protection level of each parcel, since that is an important piece of information for communities that are interested in protecting their natural resources. Once you pick protection level as your attribute to symbolize, the viewer will assign a set of default colors to each unique protection level in the data. To make changes, click on the color swatch to open the color menu. Select a color and then click OK. You can also change the transparency of the data display by sliding the transparency scale to the desired percentage. Set the scale to 75% transparency. Note that you must click Apply at the bottom of the Visualization Options panel in order to see the color/transparency changes you have selected. Once you are satisfied, you can exit the Visualization Options panel by clicking on the Done button. This will return you to the Layer Action menu, which you can close using the X button in the upper right corner of the panel. This will return you to the Layers panel, where you can continue adding data to your map. Try adding another layer, such as the designated Rivers layer, also found under Environment and Conservation. Note that you can see through the Conservation Lands layer to the Rivers layer and see the rivers pass through the parcels. To print your map, click the Print button on the Home tab of the toolbar. This button will open the Print Map interface, and you can set the layout, select the output format, and create a title and notes for your map. You can re-pan around the map to find the precise area you want to print by unchecking the Lock Print Preview with Map box at the bottom of the Print Map panel. Once you are satisfied, click the Print button at the base of the panel to open a PDF file of the map. You can either save this PDF file or send it to your printer. The Coastal Viewer also allows users to save specific maps and projects so that they can be returned to and viewed later. This is done by saving the map as a project under the Projects tab in the toolbar. In order to access and utilize the Save Projects feature of the Coastal Viewer, users must create and be logged into an ArcGIS online account. To create or log in to your account, click on the Sign In icon at the top of the Projects tab. Follow the instructions on the ArcGIS online website to create or access your account. Once you have an account, you can save your map projects on the Coastal Viewer and share and view projects with other users. Now it's time to test out your new mapping skills with the New Hampshire Coastal Viewer. Take a look at the other training materials and contact Granite for support using the Help tab. Good luck!